I wish I could just upload a beat and people would just buy on my BeatStars. But what I would have to do is write people's names down on a spreadsheet and just type in notes like, "Hey, this person hit me up this date. Check on maybe a week from then." You know what I mean? So organization was huge.
Let's be honest, you're not gonna find these videos anywhere else. Why? Because I make them. So it would really help me out if you subscribe. If you've already subscribed, what also really helps is if you like the video and leave a comment. It's hard in the era of clickbait videos on YouTube and negativity in the producer community, and I appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
Well, right now I don't have a full-time job. I'm just doing this. I'm in like a situation where I can just do this, but I think the burnout was the consistency, like posting I think at the time I was posting every other day. And then I don't know, I think I just got like burnt out by doing that. I wish I could have just done like 2 or even 1 upload on YouTube in BeatStars a week, but I definitely got burned out by just like my schedule was just way too tight for what I was doing at the time.
Okay, now you got to tell us what you were doing at the time. So you were juggling a job with trying to make beats.
No, it's funny because you said you worked at a library, right? You used to work at a library?
No.
Oh, you did?
I
thought you said
like that
in one of
story
your
though.
interviews. Well, so I used to work when I was really starting to. It's kind of funny, but I had a friend there at the Buffalo Downtown Library, and they're actually adding a new part of the library which had a music production studio in it. So I actually was doing that while I was doing the type beat stuff, and which was kind of cool because that was like it was funny because there's always rappers that wanted to come in and record, and I just kept seeing like they're just going on YouTube, Cash Money AP. Everyone was just on Cash, like just downloading Cash Money AP beats. So I was just like, what is, like, I kind of knew about it, but I didn't know like the potential it had, you know what I mean? So I mean, during that time I was just working that, and then I actually end up leaving the library, and then I think it was like about 2 years ago I started doing a tech support job. And I hate, like, it was honestly the easiest job I've ever had, but it was just so draining. Yeah,
What, it was telemarketing? Actually, not telemarketing, but telephone support?
Yeah, it was I didn't work for New York State, but it was for New York State employees. It was honestly like resetting passwords and like just doing that type of stuff.
Could you work from home, or did you have to go?
If I had to go in, this was a couple years before COVID. But you already know how the weather is in Buffalo. If the weather was bad, we can work from home. And it's funny because when that started happening, when the weather was getting bad, I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Oh, really? You would think that would be. Also, I got a request for you to turn the gain up on your mic. I don't know.
Oh yeah. So this might be a little bit better.
Yeah, you would think working from home remotely for that kind of job would allow you to be making beats, doing other things throughout. But it was just splitting your attention too much, you were saying?
Yeah, I mean, oh man, like during the Adam Ivy interview, I was saying this. I would literally listen to your videos, like Curtis King's, his, Adam Ivy's, and just be, I don't know. I obsess over this. So if I'm not like doing it all the time, you know, like I just can't, I don't know, my head I just think way too much about it. So I just kind of said, I'm going to try this full time. And granted, I'm not really making full-time money, probably more like part-time, but I'm glad I took those 2 years and kind of starting to figure things out. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we're definitely going to talk about the finances. Always a interesting question from Bufo. Are you related to Patrick Den?
No, Atdenn is not, like, my actual name is Trevor Brown, if anyone wants to know.
Yeah, see, Trevor, Atdenn, yeah.
Yeah. But the way I got the name was just through like some video game stuff. It's just from a video game, like a character. So it doesn't really have any importance. I thought it was different, and just no one had that name, so I don't know. I chose Atdenn. I thought it sounded kind of cool.
Yeah, that's how I got the name DJ Payne one from Mario 3, I think. So when you made your first 1,500 a month off of beats, obviously that's a dope benchmark. And I know you commemorated that by talking about it on a live, but what changed first mentally and then secondly strategically? What changed about your approach that allowed you to reach that benchmark at that time?
Organization. It kind of goes into what I was saying earlier with scheduling and like just getting more organized. I'm kind of slacking on it now, I'm not gonna lie. But what I was doing, the thing was, I was getting a lot of people asking for my beats, but I wasn't closing the sales. Like I wish I could just upload a beat and people would just buy on my beatstars. But what I would have to do is write people's names down on a spreadsheet and just type in notes like, "Hey, this person hit me up this date. Check on maybe a week from then." You know what I mean? So organization was huge when I had that month, and I actually had a better month. I made around $2,000. I think maybe the next or following months. But the organization, I think it's different for everyone. Like some people could just post beats on YouTube and BeatStars, and people will just actually buy in that store. But for my approach, it was a lot more hands-on. So mentally and all that, it's definitely organization.
Yeah, I'm definitely jealous of the people that just post beats and make sales. That's one of those things that I think a lot of us don't want to do. The follow-up, the organization, the conversations, and I think a lot of producers end up. I hear a lot from producers who get frustrated that they have to follow up with artists and that they have to send out reminders, or you see all those memes about, when the rapper says, "I got you when I get paid next Friday." It's funny to me because I have a lot of recording artists, mostly rappers, that contact me and give me that line and say, "I don't get paid till next week. I got you then." I just put it in my calendar and then I contact them, and like the majority of the time they respond and we handle the business. So I think there's this odd, I shouldn't call it odd, I'm not going to make a judgment. I think there's this aversion to customer service in the producer world where we want the sales, but we don't want to necessarily do all the customer service work because that's not what we signed up for.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm kind of slacking on it now. I got to get back to that, but I feel like a lot of the interviews of type beat producers, they don't really mention that, or maybe they didn't do it. Maybe they just had like a lane that worked for them on YouTube, and they just, like I said, people were just going to their BeatStars. But I think for a lot of upcoming producers, so as myself, like you just have to be more organized and just reach out back to them, especially if you're in my situation too, when you're getting a lot of people asking for beats. Just set them back up. Just even like ask them when they could when they could close the sale. You know what I mean? So it's just communication and organization. I feel like at the end of the day with beat sales.
Because I think here's what's fun, and I disagree with the comment. It's just not what I experienced, and I don't know how you feel about that, but I think about my own buying habits as a consumer, and if I want to buy something, I might research it like crazy, and then just kind of forget, and then a month later, I'm like, oh damn, I forgot I wanted to get that pair of running shoes or whatever. So if I'm applying that to my customers who go to my beat store, I feel like, and this changed my mentality a lot. And tell me if you if you experience this, it changed my mentality a lot, where it just kind of clicked in my head where I'm like, if I'm running a business, I'm not in love with customer service. I'm in love with making beats. But if I'm running a business, I have to reach out. I have to communicate. I have to take that step and have conversations with people and build relationships. I can't just treat it as this transactional thing where the rapper buys the beat and that's it. It's all anonymous. There's no human interaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. You just gotta hit people back up, and I remember during that time when I did the Adam Ivy interview, the biggest thing was what I was telling people, like why it worked for me. I just said, like, yo, think about it like this. There's millions of probably, I don't even know how many type beat channels there are on YouTube, but there's a lot of people doing this. So I'm kind of like this too now. Like, I don't want to bug people. Like, I kind of want them to come to me whenever they're ready. But the reality is, like I said, there's so many people doing this. Like, you just need to shoot that friendly reminder. Maybe if it's in 2 weeks, they can start paying for the beat. You just always, you got to be in their face, but not annoying about it. And especially if they said they're going to buy the beat a couple weeks later. I mean, you're just checking in. You're following the word. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But yeah, I could see how people can see how it could be annoying, and you don't want to be in their inbox all like that. And which I get it, but just check up on them. You know what I mean? Even if you have an email list or a text list or anything like that, just hit the people up, just asking how they are, and maybe like send their music that they've been working on. You know, stuff like that.
Do you find yourself doing that a lot? Just having conversations?
I've been bad about it. Well, at least like actually following up with people. But I've been a little bit better. Yeah, I'll send them beats. I think the next one, I just want to say, like, send your music in if you've been working on any music. And then, you could put your beats in there too and just be like, oh yeah, by the way, these are like my monthly, or the beats that I worked on this month.
You were alluding to this Adam Ivy conversation. And I believe you had some sort of mentorship with him, right?
Yep.
How did you link up with him?
Just through his videos. Like, he'll always post a music, what is it called? Sell Music Masterclass. But I actually did the one-on-one program, so it's like a tier higher or whatever. But I just did it through following him for so many years, that I finally said, hey, I need a little bit extra help.
And you found that beneficial, the one-on-one mentorship?
Definitely, yeah. The only thing, I actually did a review on it. I actually started another YouTube channel. I'm gonna do more like beat cookups and like vlogs and stuff. But the only thing, when I'm thinking about it now, it doesn't matter what he would say, but the ideas for content, because it was hard. It's like, hey, what kind of content can I make for artists that I can like almost show my beats to, but like bring in artists. But a lot of the content with music production is tutorials and all that stuff for music producers. So I was really trying to brainstorm what ideas would work. But thinking about it, like, even if he gave me an idea, I was looking for like the quick, like, hey, will this bring me views? But like, just that will take time regardless. Even if you did site beats, like what I'm doing now, I've been really bad in the past with being consistent. Like, I'll start uploading for like 3 months and then stop. But that's why it's the easiest thing ever, like what everyone says. But like, yeah, the content kind of matters, but if you're not consistent with it, like, it's not going to work out really, or you're not going to see any results if you're not consistent.
Yeah, I do think consistency and organization are our greatest enemies and our greatest assets as creatives. And so let's talk about consistency, because you said in one of your videos, this is a quote, I put out beats, but but there's no guarantee they're going to sell. And then you went on to talk about your consistency strategy. So it sounds like you're struggling with consistency, but based on your experience with it, what did work for you? When you were most consistent, what were you doing, and why do you think it was effective?
When it comes to content or selling beats,
Selling beats specifically.
I think it just goes back to when I'm thinking about it, I wasn't consistent uploading on YouTube as much. Or maybe, okay, I was uploading on YouTube, maybe not every day, but at least like 4 or 5 beats on my YouTube weekly. But it just comes back to that organization. Like I was writing people's names down, seeing when they would want to buy the beat, when they would have the money for it. So it just comes back to that organization. Like right now, I've been uploading a beat every day on my main YouTube channel, but I haven't been like, I need to get back on it. I've been kind of like slacking with that, but I haven't been writing people's names down and checking up on them. You know what I mean? But yeah, just so organization. That's when I'm at my best. When it
What
comes
would
to
you
selling
say
beats.
is preventing you from staying consistent? Like what happens in your life that is a hurdle to consistency with your scheduling and with your organization techniques?
Yeah, a lot of it is mental. What's actually helped me out a lot recently, I've been working out again. I've been kind of not consistent with that, but like I need to, especially now with the quarantine and all this stuff. You're cooped up in the house. At least I am all the time. I don't really go out or anything, but like you just gotta, for me, moving my body around, lifting weights, all that stuff helps me mentally. But a lot of it, that's like one half of it, and the other half is just like, damn, this isn't working. Like right now, my keyword I'm using right now, like I'm kind of testing it out, but it's kind of like I'm getting views, but I'm still not seeing like the automatic sale like we all want to see. But it's all mental, and I just got to keep telling myself like, hey, I'm gonna make it a goal to upload a beat every day because I can with my schedule for like a year and just see what happens. And if that doesn't work, then hey, I'm gonna go over what I'm doing, maybe change some things up. But a lot of it is mental.
Okay, I do want to talk about your current keyword strategy in a minute. Recently, also you spoke about trying to give away a pack of free beats in exchange for email addresses. I don't know if you actually ended up doing that. Did you end up doing that?
What I'm doing right now, I with the beatstars integration with Mailchimp, like anyone that downloads my beat or purchases a beat is on my email list. So that's what I'm doing right now, for the most part. But I used to do the 5 free beats, but honestly, like I think just with what I'm doing right now, I get at least like 60 new signups monthly, at least for right now, just from BeatStars. So I'm cool with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So how do you capitalize on those email addresses that you've collected? How does collecting emails now help you sell beats in the future?
The emails and what I've been doing too. This might be a little key for people that want to start a text messaging marketing thing. Whenever someone, at least for me, whenever someone buys a beat, they'll actually put their phone number down, and I'll hit them up whenever, the next day, or if I have that time that day, and just say like, hey, I hope that, because sometimes they'd be putting the wrong number. I'm like, hey, I hope this is the right number. This is Atdenn. I just want to say like thank you for purchasing that beat. Let me know if you need anything. And usually I would say like 90% of the time they'll respond. And then I've been slowly like building up a mobile or a text messaging marketing list. I don't even know what to call it, SMS list. And I think that works a lot for me more than emails, just because it's more direct. So I've been doing that. I feel like I've been getting a lot of leverage in that situation, if that's the right word, leverage, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's an SMS integration with Fan Connect on BeatStars.
I'm using the way I'm doing it. So I don't use any. I'm actually using an iPhone app, and it's called Reach, and it's only like $3 a month. But I think once I build my list more, then I'll probably get another thing. But Reach is cool because you could send them messages direct like a normal text messages from your phone number. But the only thing is that when you write up your like, hey, hey, just checking in or whatever you want to put, you have to manually send that. It almost like creates an automatic message for everyone that's on your list. But say like right now, I think I have like 60 people, but you have to send that 60 times. You have to keep pressing that 60 times. But it's working out for me, even just like sales, but more like the connection. You know what I mean? I get a lot of people responding back to that.
Okay, so let's talk about that connection because we have a good question here. How do you word your texts or your emails so that they're more conversational, they're more geared towards relationship building, and they don't turn people off because they're too sales oriented?
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I just send them like, "Hey, this is a new pack that I've been working on. Like this is February 2021 pack." Sometimes I just send that, and people are fine with that. But like I said earlier, just ask them, especially with the text messages. Just text them like how you would usually text. Just say like, "Hey, what's up? Hope everything's good. Have you been working on any music?" And then that's it. But I think for I mean, you can even do that for the email too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, are your emails pretty conversational? I mean, mine always are. And then, like, the thing is, I end up spending my entire Friday afternoon just conversing with people because they're actually giving me real updates. And sometimes it's heavy stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about some of the stories that people send me. I'm just like, damn, I'm sorry to hear that. Wow, that's. But then, there's this musical connection because it's like, I want to write a song about this. And I'm like, wow, that's. This didn't happen, but as an example, someone going through a divorce or somebody and they're telling me that, they're writing a song about it to one of my beats. I'm like, wow, that's intense, man. Yeah. Do you find that to happen to you as well?
I'm gonna be honest. It's half and half. Sometimes I just send them beat packs, but then I think for my emails, I'm not gonna lie, it's probably just packs, but I would say my text messaging and Instagram. Like I don't check like if an artist hits me up on Instagram, asks me about a beat, like I'll give them some feedback, but then usually it turns into a conversation. And what I usually do is just use the voice memo thing on Instagram and just use that to talk to them to build like more of a connect, like they can actually hear my voice. But for emails, it's kind of half and half. I can't even lie. But I would say for like my text messaging and my Instagram, it's more like, "Hey, how are you doing?" type of vibe. Pain is
So we.
Dr. Phil.
Oh boy. Thank you, Bufo.
Fool.
Have you used paid ads before? Have you used Facebook ads, for example?
Yeah. I haven't. A couple months ago, if you look on my IG, like every week I put a pack of beats, like a carousel post of beats that I just been working on, and usually I just no. It's funny. I've gotten sales from just using the automatic like boost feature. Like I don't even put anything in, and I just use the automatic one, and I got like a couple sales from it. And I'll spend maybe like $50 a month from it, but then end up making maybe 150 or 200. So I don't go really. I was at a phase where I was trying to go in depth and everything. But what I am doing right now, I have that Facebook pixel on my BeatStars, and I'm trying to collect as much data. I want to run it for like a year before I even start running it, just so I can get a really good amount of data of people that's been on my BeatStars, and then maybe get into ads. But I haven't really ads really haven't been working for me, to be honest. Ex- except for that automatic one, I feel like that was probably the most sale, and it was just from one person too. Just using the automatic feature.
And so those were people who already followed you, and you were just kind of.
Oh, come down. What's up? What's up? Come down. Found on SoundCloud, which brought me.
Oh, my bad.
Oh no, it's from me. The beatstars that hooked up. Yeah, yeah. We talked. Yeah, yeah. Sends. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout out to come down, man.
So do you find that a lot of your sales are coming from repeat customers?
Yeah, I would say most of them are. I think the random sales it's always from. I don't know if it. I think it's from like BeatStars Marketplace or YouTube.
Mm.
But a lot of the people, like I made $1,000 off one person just from buying exclusives. You know what I mean? I think that's the largest way I make money is just from repeat customers, and it's usually exclusives. I don't really do a lot of leases. A lot of it is exclusives.
So let's and that who was it? I think it was Bubba Got Beats who was saying that that might be kind of the new strategy moving forward. But for those of us who have never run a Facebook ad, you have to choose an audience of people to whom you're showing those ads. And obviously, we as beat makers want to target recording artists who want to buy beats. When you were running those ads, how were you specifying your audience?
Man, probably just rappers, hip hop artists. Like I just a generic like if you YouTubed how to do that, it's probably just that list. You know what I mean? So probably just a generic audience base.
And you're saying you didn't have much luck just with that kind of
Mm,
targeting?
the best the best I got out of it was actually collecting emails from doing that like 5 free beats and collecting that email. Not as much for sales, but you can build like a decent email list from doing that. At least from my experience.
So, in terms of building up an email list, are you planning on eventually using those emails for ads by dumping them back into Facebook at Business Manager and building audiences and lookalikes?
Yeah, 100%. I tried. I think I already did it maybe like a year ago, but the audience wasn't really too big. But yeah, I mean, if I get a really big email list, if it keeps growing, then yeah, like it would. Why not? Just makes it's more direct from all that data that you have.
Yeah, it saves you a
Yeah,
lot, a lot of money, a
yeah.
lot of money.
Like I said, I'm not like really into it, but I know when I get to a certain point, I kind of have an idea of how to do like retargeting and all that stuff. But I think with that, you just need a lot of data.
Yeah, that's why a lot of companies sell leads. That's
Mm.
all it is. And leads are expensive, man. They're charging tens of thousands of dollars for those. So if you can get them yourself for free just by using the BeatStars free download feature, you're ahead of the game. We actually have a serious question from Bufo. Do you run any bulk deals, and do you feel like it's had an impact on your sales?
Yeah, 100%. Like I run bulk. This is the thing on my website. I don't even know. Sometimes, let me actually check it. For repeat customers, I always run deals. Like I'm like, hey, you usually my basic lease is like $25, but say if they want 7 beats, I'll be like, yo, just throw me 125. Like I don't know. Like I always do that, and I think that might be a reason why people come back to me. It's like, okay, he's always gonna give me some type of deal, you know. And I do that with. I wasn't doing that with exclusives, but I do that with exclusives. I'm just at the point where I'm not really getting a crazy amount of lease money or like exclusive money. So like whenever I can get the chance, why not? You know, I think if you're at a certain point, you might have to be a little bit like if you're at DJ Payne one's point, like obviously you don't want to just do exclusive deals, but if you're at my point and still on the up and coming, you know, just might as well just do a deal.
Yeah, I mean, exclusives get tricky,
Yeah.
but I think there are ways to navigate them without. I think for me, what I would eventually like is to just have beats that are only for exclusive sale, so that people don't get too nervous about previous customers, and then the people who used to or who purchased the lease previously aren't affected by it. Just to keep
Mhm.
things clean and respectful for everybody. But anyway, did you ever try other ads platforms like AdWords for YouTube ads?
Um. Oh. I can't do AdWords. I'll start out with a positive thing. I
Oh,
actually ran some BeatStars ads. I think I heard, was it Levi Beats? He was saying it's really good to like build a following on there. And sometimes you have to be careful. I don't know if there's like bots or something, or like people run bots, or but it helped me build a following. And I think I might have gotten one sale out of it. But to the bad news, I'm actually this I can't run any ads on my YouTube. Like my account has been suspended. And I don't want to all I remember was this was a while ago that I don't know if you remember this. So say for my account I didn't have a YouTube, like I couldn't monetize or anything. The partnership. I didn't have the partnership.
mm.
So do you remember when people would run like a little ad, like it was a AdSense ad, but it said like, "Hey, click on this beat to download it for free," and that would be like almost a card. Do you
Oh, and
remember
it was
that?
just kind of on the side of the page. It wasn't a
Yeah,
video. Yeah.
it was pretty much like a card, but it was in an ad form. And I remember BeatStars having a tutorial saying that like, hey, if you don't have the card feature or a way that you can make one is by making a bunch of ads for each video, but then pausing it. And that would make it, I think you kind of know where this is going, but that would make it
No, I
where
don't, because I was trying to do that, and then YouTube disabled it.
yeah, so I would do dude, I did that for like I don't even know, like 50 videos, but I wasn't thinking, like I was kind of running an ad. But even if it was paused, it was technically still running an ad, and I wasn't paying for it. But I was using that feature that they had because I didn't have the card, and
Mm.
now I can't. Now my account has been suspended because it said suspicious payments or something like that. So I would love to run Google Ads. I think that might be one of the best ways, especially to build your Type B channel up. But I can't do it now because of that situation.
I wonder if you can appeal if it's been a while
I
ago.
I tried. I tried like 3 times and they said nope.
Damn.
Like, you can't. And say if I made another channel and started doing that, like I could just get permanently banned or something. I don't even know. So I haven't really tried it. But I've tried. That's like one thing I wish I had was YouTube AdSense, but it is what it is.
Okay, moving on to I was gonna say moving on to more positive things, but this isn't so positive actually. This is something that we wanted to talk about anyway though. I want
Mm,
to let's get real about selling beats online, because it's not all glamour, it's not all money,
mm,
just falling from the ceiling. After you hit some nice benchmarks, sales kind of dropped, right? I think that's the
mm.
conversation we're having behind the scenes. Tell me what happened and how that all felt, and then kind of where you are now.
Oh man. Felt didn't feel good at all. And that's the what I was talking about earlier. You know, mentally it hit me heavy. You know, like I was low key thinking about quitting, not like quitting music, but like pursuing this as a career. I was just like, dude, this is I don't know. I think after those months when I was selling a lot of beats and all that stuff, it just comes back. It comes back to, hey, I slacked off and I wasn't hitting up people like I was. I was like, oh, I'm killing it right now. I'm just gonna let people come to me. But like, you just can't. Like, especially if you're just starting off. If you're not normally getting people going to your store and just buying beats, you have to keep at it. You have to keep organized and again write people's names down, see when they could buy beats. But I just stopped doing that. and that's part of the consistency thing too. I was talking about earlier. Like I feel like I am consistent with like making music, but like the business aspect, even when it comes to uploading beats on YouTube, I'm always kind of like, you know, you just feel like kind of down. It's like, I'm not doing this anymore. Or like, I'm just going to take a break. But like, you just have to keep at it. You have to keep uploading. You have to keep hitting people back up. So that's just something that, again, like it's been okay, just uploading tight beats regularly. And, I haven't really been pushing the sale. Like, if people are interested, I haven't been writing the names down, but it hasn't been bad. But I just got to start doing it more.
But this goes back to a mentality thing, or is it a scheduling issue?
Mentality,
Okay.
100% mentality. The scheduling thing is always. I'm pretty good with making a schedule for myself, but it's mentality and organization. I think that's really important when it comes, especially if you're trying to be a producer that sells beats online. If you're not organized and especially not mentally, like, hey, this could take like 3 years until you really start making some money. So I don't know. I just keep reminding myself that every day.
Yeah, it feels like something that you just have to absolutely be in love with,
Mm,
period, no matter what. It's like a
mm,
marriage. You know, you don't
yeah.
you don't get a divorce unless you absolutely have to.
Mm, yeah.
Um,
You just gotta keep at it. That's literally
yeah.
it.
I know a lot of producers are frustrated about not selling any beats, and on one of your live streams, you were talking about that, and you pointed out that one, maybe their beats needed to get better, and two, you pointed out that even if their beats are amazing and their branding is poor, then
Mm.
they're probably not going to have that much luck. So let's talk about branding. What is branding, and what makes a producer's branding good in your experience?
Branding is just like who you are. And it comes down to like if you're doing personal branding, it's literally just you. It can be the vlog aspect, but if it comes down to type beat, it's just, I think it comes down to like visuals and like how, like right now I've been kind of like making R&B ish type beats, but I try to find like cool visual. Everyone asks me where I get my artwork from. Just Pinterest, like look up like chill aesthetic, but like find cool pictures that like match with the actual vibe of the beat and the title. And sometimes I've been getting better at that, especially with the title. But that means a lot. Like I feel like a lot of the beats that I have the branding is a certain vibe, like melodic trap type beat. I have a beat that fits that. The visual looks good and like the SEO and all that stuff makes sense. So like that's huge when it comes to branding. But I think just to dumb it down, it's just like who you are and like what your beats represent visually, like what it sounds like and all that stuff.
Yeah, every time I got to start talking like this. Look at how good my skin looks here, and then I take my hand away, and then it looks
It's
like a vampire.
that automatic white balance adjustment or some shit like that.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
it's like Ghost, ethnically ambiguous mixed dude. Ghost, ethnically ambiguous. So what? Let's talk about SEO and your strategy. So what tools do you use for YouTube SEO strategy, if any?
I actually started out with vidIQ, but right now I'm using TubeBuddy. I think either one is fine. But one thing I did notice, just to like, so there's a producer that we talk once in a while, but then the tags I'm using right now, it says I have 100% SEO score, but then this is with TubeBuddy, and then he looks up my SEO score on vidIQ, and it's saying the opposite. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but I think ever since I really studied because I just study other producers that are in my lane, ones that are doing well, and I always look at their SEO score. I'm like, oh, he's got 100 SEO score, so let me just use this. So it's all about just studying other producers too, and then using those tools properly.
I too am confused by the discrepancy between the ratings that I get on one or the other. I know for me, and I talked about it during the Pale 1080 interview.
Mm.
Just that two buddy minimum views to rank score is amazing, and that has helped my channel quite a bit. However, I do question some of those raw numbers, especially I find vidIQs to be pretty confusing. Just because,
Yeah.
so it'll be a keyword that I'm ranking on, and the score will be ridiculously low, and I'm like, well, I don't know what's going on. And Bufo's kind of talking about that too, how he's never seen a vidIQ score over 90. I feel like they're a little more pessimistic.
I think
And
when it
two
comes
buddies
down
like the happy friend that's just telling you to go
yeah.
for it.
I feel like you're gonna obviously get a better SEO score if you're normally getting views on that keyword and you have a decent I think just getting views, I don't know if or I think it's views and watch time or something. That might like add up another notch to the score, but I noticed that too. I'm like it said I had like a 40 something score. I'm like it says I have 100 on TubeBuddy. So I don't know,
Did
maybe
you rank
not
on
do
that
some
keyword?
shit. It says I did. Okay,
Okay.
so it says I rank on it on TubeBuddy. It says like 3, but it's not. Obviously, it's not. I would be doing good if I was third in the search. But I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works too.
Yeah, if
But
you open an incognito tab and search for
yeah,
that keyword and you are third, then that's how you verify it.
mm,
But I know if it's within the first 12 to 24 hours, the algorithm is just
yeah.
kind of all over the place. So those
I
numbers
think
fluctuate a lot.
I think regardless, just use those tools because it'll definitely help you get at least a little bit more views. It definitely did with the new lane that I'm doing right now, with the melodic type beat. I just had to. I chose to do melodic type beat because for me personally, I can I can make a bunch of guitar beats, but then I'm like, okay, like let me do something similar, but just not a guitar beat. And I think by doing like a vibe type beat, you have more options. You know, you can be more creative than just doing a certain artist type beat. That's just me personally, you
Yeah,
know.
and you're not locked
So
into an
yeah.
instrument. You're not locked into a tempo. Yeah, well, I guess it depends on the artist too, because like Drake type beat could be dance hall, or it could be drill, or it
Yeah.
could be
Yeah, true.
yeah, sample based. But yeah, obviously that's a extremely competitive keyword. Whereas if you're listing melodic
Yeah.
type beat, which is kind of your new niche,
Hmm.
it can kind of be a wide range of things, and you might be attracting a more eclectic customer base. And to speak to
Yeah.
this comment that Cloud9 posted, yeah, unfortunately, you can't post screenshots, but let's talk, and maybe you can we can schedule uh, you to come on as a special guest and share some of this because I think this is interesting. Hopefully, we can lock that in. Actually, my next question was going to be about your thumbnails, and you asked that, or you answered that already. So, wrapping up, what are you excited about in 2021?
I'm excited about starting that new YouTube channel that I have. I'm excited for building that up because I feel like I can make a lane for that. I just bought an MPC Live 2, and I always wanted to get some type of MPC, but the lane, I'm probably giving someone ideas for this, but I'm looking right now, MPC Live 2 trap beat making. I feel like there's a lane for that because there's people doing it, but it's like outdated trap beats. I don't see anyone making like crazy Gunna type beats on an MPC. So I'm excited for that. I feel like I can make a lane or something for that. But I'm ex- I'm excited for this year too. Like I said, I'm working out. Like I don't know. I feel like I might just be like a different person mentally just from like working out way more, and just being consistent with it, and just being consistent with my beat, like everything that I'm doing. I'm just trying to stick to that goal. You know, it can be hard. You know that it's gonna take time, but a year really isn't that long. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I think we do need to put things into perspective. And when we're considering more traditional career paths, you have to take into consideration that, we spend the first 18 years of our lives in school or in situations where we're being taught. And then if we go to college, that's an additional 2 years minimum just
Mhm.
to enter into the job market. So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with what you're saying. A year isn't that long, and
I try to compare it to like your work. Like if you want to get a raise at your work, you're gonna have to put in a couple months and like bust your ass and like do some hard work before you actually get a raise. And that's just a raise. That's not like, you know what I mean? Like it's not like you're gonna jump from making 14 to like $30 an hour in a year. You know, that shit takes time. So that's how I'm seeing it too. And that's I always tell that to people, especially producers that hit me up, like, you just gotta think about it like that. I tell myself that all the time. So just keep that in mind too.
well, how do people follow you and stay in touch with you and stay abreast of all your 2021 projects?
Just everything Atdenn. It's just Atdenn. And my new YouTube channel is actually, if you want to follow that, it's gonna be some cool content on that. It's just Atdenn 2.0.